Hello reception and welcome to your Understanding of the World lesson. It's Friday, so it's the last day of home learning, and I thought it'd be really nice if we made ourselves, if we did something different and made ourselves a sweet treat. So today we're going to follow a recipe to make something called Anzac Cookies, which is what they have in Australia. So just tell somebody, what has been your favourite part when we have been learning about Australia? Was it the stories, the artwork, the animals, or maybe the Great Barrier Reef? Well, before we get on with our recipe, I just wanted to show you three really cool things about Australia that I haven't got a chance to show you already. So the first is in the middle of Australia, and it's called Uluru. And Uluru is this natural formation of rock, and it's incredibly special and sacred to the Aboriginal people that still live in Australia. And it's so special because look at the colour of it. What colour is it? It's a really bright orangey red, and that's because that's the colour of the dirt, and it's because there's things in the dirt, minerals, that make it that amazing red colour. The second thing I wanted to show you is Sydney Opera House, and here it is. Here it's a great big building that has like big cinemas and theatres in it, and it looks, what does it look like? Right, it looks like a ship, and they have something called the Festival of Lights where they actually play videos on the sails, and look, how cool is that? It actually looks like something's being painted on the ship, which is very cool. And then the last thing I wanted to show you is all the way down the bottom of Australia we have penguins. I bet you didn't know that, because normally we associate Australia with being a really hot country. But the penguins come up onto the beaches, and if you're lucky to go and see it, you have to be really quiet, because when one brave penguin starts running, and they all chase after, and they all run up the beach, and they go into these nests that were built by humans to lay their eggs. So there are three really cool facts. Now, let's get on with our recipe. So you're going to need to pause the video and get these things ready. You're probably going to need to ask an adult to help you with this, but we need flour, sugar, coconut, rolled oats. We need golden syrup, bicarb of soda, butter and boiling water. And I've got them all here, and the best thing to do is do the prep work, so get them all ready. So measure out all your ingredients and meet me back here after, and I'm going to show you how to put them together to make these delicious biscuits. Okay, off you go. Hello reception and welcome to my kitchen. Have you got all of your ingredients prepped and ready? Good. When the prep work's done, we can start putting everything together to make our biscuits. The first thing you need to make sure that you've done is greased your baking tray. So some butter on your baking tray to make sure your biscuits don't stick to them when they come out of the oven. We're first of all going to put all of our dry ingredients together. Then we're going to heat up our wet ingredients, and then we're going to mix everything together to make the biscuit dough, I guess. Having a look at your ingredients, which ones do you think are wet and which ones do you think are dry? Okay, so anything that's like a powder, like the coconut, you can see is dry. Anything that is in a liquid form, like our golden syrup, that's our wet ingredient. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to pour our oats, this one, our flour, here it goes, and our coconut. We're going to pour those into our bowl, and you might want to give them a little mix around like so. Now I'm going to just check my recipe so I'm confident what's coming next. So lovely. Oh, I forgot one thing, of course I did. Sugar. We need to pour our sugar in as well. So in goes sugar. So we have our flour, our oats, our coconut and our sugar. Lovely. Okay, so I've just had to pan you around because you definitely couldn't see what was going on. But now we're going to have a look at our wet ingredients. So this is going to be quite hot. So you need to be very, very careful and listen to your adult very sensibly. But in a pan, you can see mine's kind of melted already. You're going to gently melt your butter. Can you see my butter is now liquid? Okay, and we're going to add the best bit. We're going to add our golden syrup. So you need a tablespoon. And what you're going to do is fill your tablespoon all the way up. Make sure it's a good tablespoon. Lovely. Oh, look at that. Delicious. And then we're going to pour it in. Very nice. Make sure we get all of it. And we're going to just very, very gently stir it in. So we're just going to keep stirring and stirring. It's all in. And you're going to add some more things now to your melted, buttery, yummy goodness mix. We're going to add our bicarbonate of soda. So this time we need a teaspoon. So that's a little bit smaller than your tablespoon. And need to open it up. There we go. I'm going to take my tablespoon. So can you see my, oh, you can't see it very well. Can you see my teaspoon? I'm now going to pop it over here. Put that in. And this is probably what your adult needs to do. This is optional, but it does work. Your adult now needs to add 2 tablespoons of boiling water. So that's why your adult does it, because actually that is incredibly hot. So I've got my kettle and I'm going to add 1 and 2. Okay, so it's quite important that your adult does that because that's incredibly hot. Okay, so I have my buttery goodness. I'm mixing my bicarbonate of soda in. Now, that's on quite low. I'm just going to leave that to get warm for a second. And what I would like you to do is go back to your dry ingredients. And I'd like you to make a little hole in the middle, okay? So you're going to kind of push all of your oats and coconut and sugary goodness to the side. So there's like a bit of a hole in the middle. Now this is what your adult needs to do, okay? Make sure you can see. Because now we're going to pour the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. So this isn't a job for you guys. This is a job for your adult. So very gently. Very yummy. Lovely. Put that over here. Make sure everything's turned off. And now I get to mix it together. Okay, now you guys will do it on a table. But you can't see, my kitchen's a little bit awkward, so you can't see. So we're just going to keep gently mixing everything in. And oh, it smells delicious. And then you can see that it actually starts coming together. So then your flour and your sugary coconut mixture kind of absorbs all of the butter and the water. And look, I'll show you on my spatula, it ends up looking like a dough. So give it a very good mix, and I'll meet you back here to show you how to put them all together onto your baking tray. Okay, so I've given everything a really good mix. It's looking like this now. And I've washed my hands, because what we're going to do is take a big tablespoonful and we're actually going to put it in our hands. Now just make sure it's not too hot. You might need to leave it a little bit to cool down first. And you're going to roll it into a ball. Very nice. And then just pop it on your baking tray and just give it a little tap so it squishes down into a biscuit shape. And you've got to make sure that when you're putting more on your baking tray that you leave enough room, because they will expand in the oven. So just make sure they don't all go into one. So I'm rolling my ball lots of butter on my hands, and then I put it on the baking tray and I squish it down just a little bit. I'm going to do one more and show you. Okay, so roll it into a ball, roll, roll, roll the ball, and then put it onto my baking tray and squish it down a little bit. So, you know that's filling there. That's what they're looking like so far. And I'm going to do enough to fill my tray, and I'll take a photo of it for you. And then what I am going to do is just sprinkle a little bit of extra coconut on the top. Okay, so good luck everyone, and I'll... Fantastic. Right, okay, once you've done that, you need to pop them into the oven, 180 degrees or gas mark 4 for about 10 minutes, but just keep checking on them. One thing I do want to say is that I've made a bit of a mistake. I'm really not the best baker, and I learned the hard way through this. Just make sure that you roll the ball and leave the mixture as a ball on your baking tray and not flatten it down like I did, because like I say, I'm not the best baker, and this is how mine turned out. They all squished together, and I rang my friend and I said, I don't know what's happening, and she said, yeah, you leave them as a ball. So leave them as a ball mixture, and hopefully they will turn out as beautifully as these ones down the bottom, and not one big blob like mine did. Although I have to say, it still tasted nice. I just cut it out like flapjack and it was absolutely fine. But good luck everyone. I hope you have more success than I did. I hope you have a lovely weekend and you have a rest, and I will see you on Monday. Bye.